One of the most common conversations that I'm having these days is how can AI be used to help my overall sourcing strategy? I've been working in recruiting for the last 15 years, and there is no doubt that AI is going to have a significant impact on recruiting and how we approach candidates as a recruiting industry. Not only will it be very automated, but it will be also at a volume that I think is beyond what candidates are ready for. And so, many of the conversations that I'm having with my clients, whether they be recruiting agencies or talent acquisition departments within employers, is how can we best apply AI to improve the candidate experience and to improve efficiency, not take away from the candidate experience and not to decrease efficiency. And ultimately, that's the important thing to understand is where am I going to apply this in the process? And how am I going to make this a better experience for my candidates? The number one thing that is going to cause your company to have success in the future is the talent that you bring in, the quality of the people that you bring in. So you need to be very, very careful about how you are judging the quality of that talent and how you're approaching that talent. Because the more robotic, the more you make it, manufactured process using AI and just scraping here and messaging there. If it's not a very clean and concise and a well thought out process, it ultimately won't be the type of process that a high quality candidate wants to engage in. And that's a really important thing to understand. That's what we're helping our clients with is how and where and best ways to apply tools within AI to make the overall experience better. It's exciting things that's come about in the last year, and it's really been around for a few years, is the advantages and the benefits that are coming from AI. And I'll say that with one caveat. There's a number of different solutions on the marketplace. There's a number of different applications where you can apply AI to your talent acquisition process. Ultimately, everyone should be looking at everyone within the talent acquisition space should be looking at ways to leverage and benefit from AI. But you ultimately want to make sure you have a candidate experience that is in line with the candidate's expectations. Some candidates are perfectly fine talking to bots and one-way interview tools and various other automation methods that make the recruiting process easier for you. The easier the recruiting process is for you, potentially the harder it is for your candidate. It's not always going to be the case, but it's important to leverage AI in the ways that are most effective for you. For example, many of our clients are using AI as a method of screening. So if you have a high volume of candidates that are coming in through an application process, maybe these are entry-level positions, maybe these are positions with higher turnover, maybe it's your largest portion of your workforce, and so you need to have a large candidate pool. And then you need to have some form of artificial intelligence screening process to help them screen out. There's also a lot of automation tools that allow you to match and find the best candidates for the positions that you have. It's a very outbound approach to find candidates that ultimately meet the requirements of the positions that you're hiring for. It's another very important piece of how to apply AI, and it may be important to you is, am I using AI effectively in my outbound to candidate approach? And the third is your ongoing communication with the candidate. So whether it be some form of messaging, whether it be some form of outbound calling, ultimately, I believe that the most important part of the candidate's recruiting experience is their interaction with the recruiters. And ultimately, the more sterile that can feel, the more robotic that can feel, the less personalized you as an organization will be. So it's important to apply AI to pieces and parts of your overall recruiting process, but AI is not going to do all of your hiring. And if it is, you're maybe only going to be hiring a bunch of roles because ultimately recruiting is still a human to human to human experience. There is someone who is ultimately trying to find candidates that are considering positions, considering working for your organization. And ultimately, you as a hiring manager or a business owner are considering hiring those people to join your organization. It's a very human experience, and AI should be used diligently and cautiously in terms of making sure that that is a quality candidate experience for the candidates that are engaging with your recruiting process. If you're a talent acquisition leader or a CEO of your company and you're worried about your talent acquisition strategy going forward, I would love to set up a time for a free consultation for understanding some of your objectives as a company, your hiring needs, your budgetary levels, your employer branding strategy, your candidate experience strategy. I'd love to help you build a world-class recruiting process for your organization. And as always, thank you for listening.